Okay, welcome back. The market's up about 35 points and things are looking pretty steady. Nothing, big anywhere. It's a much more quieter kind of day as compared to what we saw yesterday. But that's what we have. Rohit Khosla is Executive Vice President, Operations North and West India at Indian Hotels, and he's joining us right now to tell us whether the excitement that investors are feeling when they look at the Indian Hotel stock, Mr. Khosla is feeling when he looks at the numbers on the ground and people who are checking into his hotels. Mr. Khosla, it's a pleasure, sir. Thanks very much for being here on CNBC. Tell us, what kind of numbers, what kind of occupancy interest are you really seeing out there?
Thank you, Prashant. Thank you for having me over. It's a pleasure to be on the channel. In fact, we're very delighted with what's happening with the market and the way the market has helped push up the stock value yesterday. We hope the trend continues and we go back to where we are supposed to be. All of us are aware that the COVID-19 has been a huge black swan event for the industry, and the travel and tourism industry has been one of the major affected industries, with almost 80% below the previous year. So as far as occupancies are concerned, occupancies have been varying over the last 6-7 months. Ever since the lockdown happened, the unlock is happening in phases. And about 70% of portfolio is currently open. We are doing about low double-digit occupancies. And going forward, hopefully when certain other markets like New Delhi and some of our hotels overseas in the US, they open, we will start to see a better performance in terms of occupancy.
We've heard from many companies across sectors that we speak to that these localized lockdowns hurt. We've heard people from the hospitality sector tell us that as well. Is that a big hindrance?
Absolutely, Prashant. It is. While we understand the government's top priority is to control the pandemic, and we support the government in all their efforts, but as an industry, we are very fragile when it comes to such kind of notifications. And changing notifications have an impact on people planning their travel. As you're aware, everybody's been locked up in their homes, and everybody wants to get out and go for a holiday, as please drive holiday. And what we notice is that state government regulations, district level regulations, sometimes are impediments to planning and executing a travel plan. So we are very hopeful that the government would take note of the requirement of the travel and tourism industry and have a standardized process of maybe a COVID certificate, e-pass system that is applicable across the country, so everybody knows exactly what to do and there are no last-minute changes. As you're aware, we have weekend lockdowns in some states, and we have like only a Sunday lockdown in some state. So movement of people is critical for our industry, as you can imagine, Prashant. And if anybody's planning a holiday, they want the holiday to go smoothly. And if they know what the rules are, what the regulations are, it just helps. Changing rules and regulations are an impediment, but it's getting better. We are seeing things are improving, and driving destinations under a 4D package. 4D is a package that we've launched in IXL, which is Dream, Discover, Drive, and Delight. And this particular package is something that is picking up in driving holidays from the various metro cities, which are serving as hubs today for promoting domestic travel and domestic tourism. So that's what it is. As far as international tourism is concerned, one doesn't see that happening, recovering in the near future. Maybe a couple of months before that happens, once airports and the bubble system of the civil aviation starts to work. But we see that, yes, hopefully with the relaxation of rules of 50 people functions only, if that can get changed to about 36 square feet per person, that allows a large banquet halls of 6,000 to 8,000 square feet to have about 100 to 200 people, then that will help us to revive the MICE sector, which is very, very important also for our industry.
Mr. Khosla, morning. This is Rima here. Is a low double-digit occupancy in 70% of your portfolio sufficient for you to break even at the operational line? Or do you think even in the September quarter, we are likely to see an EBITDA loss for a company like yours?
Well, as you're aware, I mean, I'm sure you have been tracking the performance of our company over the last couple of years. We have demonstrated 9 successive quarters of growth and positive results. The organization has turned around, and we have a dynamic leader in Mr. Chatwal, who is our managing director and CEO, and the entire executive committee team, all my colleagues. We're working very hard in this particular pandemic to overcome what we set out as a setback on our aspiration 2022. We have launched an initiative called Reset 2020, which talks about revenue enhancement, talks about excellence, spend optimization, effective asset management, and thrift and financial prudence. On these 5 pillars, we are hoping to ensure that we limit the impact that these low occupancies have on our EBITDA. And yes, at low double digit, we will not be making a break even, but we are hopeful that once the lockdown opens and the skies open, starting September onwards, we will have some of our hotels starting breaking even. As we speak right now, we have a couple of hotels that are breaking even, but as a portfolio, we have a challenge at this point of time. Difficult for me to make a forward-looking statement, but all I can say is the future is bright. We are really at the lowest low that we could be. It's only way up from now.
Welcome back. So will the market up 35, but not doing very much beyond that. Just wanted to highlight, I highlighted a bunch of mid-cap stocks earlier, but if you can put up the intraday chart for Muthoot Finance, so it was one of the casualties actually of the RBI announcement with regards to gold finance companies. I mean, the stock sold off quite a bit on news that gold finance companies cannot take advantage of the higher LTV limits. The low in that move basically was about 1,080 rupees. But I think over the last 3 days, and this is the 3rd day, it's already come back to from 1,080, which was the low, to 1,215. That is, I mean, over a 10% move in the last 3 days. The company will report numbers on the 19th, which is next week, middle of next week. I mean, numbers are expected to be pretty good. So we will see what this one does. But that's just a quick word on specific stocks are making a move. The market, as I said, is okay, about 36 odd points higher. The Bank Nifty, absolutely flat. It's a wrap on this edition of Trading Hour from Rima, me, everyone on the team. Thank you very much for staying with us. We are back in just a bit. Halftime report will pick up on the action.